Chapter: The IMF and World Bank, Instruments of Global Enslavement. The system is not broken. It was built this way. John Perkins, Economic Hitman. The empire without armies. In the modern world, empires no longer need to invade with tanks and missiles. Today, conquest is carried out through debt, trade agreements, and development loans. The International Monetary Fund, IMF, and the World Bank are the two most powerful tools of this invisible empire. Financial weapons used to colonize nations under the false banner of economic stability. But who owns these institutions? Who benefits? Both. The IMF and World Bank are controlled by a handful of Western powers, with the United States holding the largest voting share. Behind the bureaucratic facades sit the same financial dynasties, the banking families and corporate cartels that control central banks. These institutions are not impartial. They serve their creators. How the trap works: a country in crisis, often already destabilized by war, sanctions, or economic sabotage, is offered a bailout. In exchange, the nation must agree to harsh conditions: austerity, deregulation, privatization of public assets, and the opening of markets to foreign investors. These are not suggestions, they are ultimatums. The contracts are written in financial blood. Public services are slashed. National industries are sold to foreign corporations for pennies. Natural resources, oil, gas, lithium, water, are handed over to multinationals. The result: wealth flows out, suffering flows in. Greece, a modern case of economic colonization. In the aftermath of the 2008 crisis, Greece was gutted by IMF-imposed austerity. Hospitals closed, pensions collapsed, youth unemployment soared. State assets from airports to seaports were auctioned to foreign bidders. The Greek people voted against austerity. The IMF ignored them. Democracy was sacrificed to save the banks. The economic hitman John Perkins, a former insider, exposed this system in brutal detail. His job was to persuade or pressure world leaders to accept massive loans they couldn't repay. If they refused, the next steps were clear: regime change, coups, or assassinations. He explained how presidents in Latin America, Africa, and Asia were either coerced into deals or removed. Leaders like Ecuador's Jaime Roldos and Panama's Omar Torrijos died in mysterious crashes after resisting. They weren't accidents, they were messages. No guns, just debt. This is the genius of the system: control without occupation, subjugation without war. The IMF and World Bank are presented as lifelines, but they are financial nooses. Once the terms are signed, sovereignty dies. And the people? They are left to pay the bill through taxes, inflation, and the theft of their national wealth. A prince's warning: a wise leader must recognize the IMF not as a savior, but as a predator. No nation ever prospered under its rule. The path to real sovereignty lies not in borrowing from those who engineered your crisis, but in breaking free from the debt trap. To confront this silent empire, a true prince must say no. No to debt, diplomacy, no to financial blackmail, and no to the smiling assassins in suits who offer lifelines made of chains.